Parts of Northern California look like a war zone right now. Deadly fires are growing more than a football field every 3 seconds. At least 17 people have died and more than 180 people are reported missing. All right, I want to bring in now Congressman John Garamendi. He represents the 2 counties affected by these wildfires. Welcome, sir.
Good to be with you.
Nice to have you here. 180 people missing. That's a real concern.
Well, we know that 17 people have died in these fires in the Napa, Sonoma area, then up in the Sierras, which I represent. It is a very, very serious problem that is probably going to get worse this afternoon. They anticipate that the winds are going to pick up once again and blow that fire even further into urban areas. So, yeah, it's a real serious problem. And frankly, we need the help of the federal government here. Some of that immediately. The Western Fire Center is deploying resources from around the West, and that needs to get there right away. And, of course, this is going to get very, very expensive.
Is California getting the help it needs from the federal government?
Probably so, at least in the immediate. The systems are set up so that the contingency response and the mutual aid systems are set up. First, they come from all over California to deploy on the more serious fires. That is always done. However, the problem is we got fires in Southern California, we've got fires throughout Northern California, and more are cropping up or starting up all of the time. So we're getting thin. At that point, the federal response kicks in. We have assistance from Nevada, from Arizona, and we'll get from the rest of the western United States. We'll be moving into California. Some of that has already arrived. So these systems are well in place. What the federal government is doing and must continue to do is to provide the financial support to back up all of this fire and then, of course, the rebuilding that needs to take place. Some of that is insurance. Some of it is the infrastructure that has been destroyed, the bridges and so forth.
So how much money do you think California needs from the federal government to rebuild?
It's going to be extensive. We do know that from the previous fires that occurred over the last 5 years, the numbers are somewhere in the $2 billion that the federal government has yet to repay California for the past fires. Some of those fires were very, very large. One of them in my county, Lake County, known as the Valley Fire, that was about the same size as what we're seeing today. So there is IOUs from the past, a couple of $1 billion. There'll probably be numbers similar from this set of fires going forward. And of course, on top of that, you have the hurricanes, Harvey, and you have the horrible situation in Puerto Rico ongoing. So the federal government is looking right now at a piece of legislation that's going to be in the House of Representatives somewhere in the $36 billion. And almost all of that is for the hurricanes, and some of that for the immediate firefighting, about $500 million for immediate firefighting. That doesn't take in the IOUs from the past fires.
Sir, would Northern California, especially Santa Rosa, right, would it welcome a visit from President Trump?
I think it's always important for the president to reach out to these disaster areas, not now. For the president to arrive during the active fire season, or even the governor, or when I was lieutenant governor in California, always careful not to go into these areas when you have a very active emergency situation underway, because it takes resources away. When things calm down, maybe the fires are out or nearly out, then at that point it is appropriate for the president, the vice president to come and to survey the damage, and then to come back to Washington and do what must be done, and that is to make the money available to help in the rebuilding process.
All right. Congressman John Garamendi, thank you so much for being with me.
Thank you.